Hello everybody, welcome to Whiteboard Wednesday. Today's topic is going to be using differentials to estimate the value of a function. This is for all my Math 115 students who have their exams tomorrow. So basically the idea behind approximating using differentials is, so in our problem here we want to calculate the third root of 124.1, and it's not an easy thing to solve. So we want to make it a little bit easier to get an answer that is close to the correct value, but also easy to compute. And so our general formula for doing this is going to be f, which is our function, of x plus delta x equals, or is about equal to f of x plus f prime of x times delta x. And so for this example, we want to choose an x where we know the cubed root of that number. That's also close to 124.1. And so the obvious choice is going to be choosing x equals 125, because we know the cubed root of 125 is just 5, because we have equals 5 times 5 times 5. So we want that to be our x. If we're comparing, delta x is the change in x. And so if we're going from this value to this value, our delta x is going to be 125, or actually this one here, 0.1 minus 125, because this is our initial, and then this is our second thing that we're changing it to. So we can see that this equals negative 0.9. And so our f function, we're going to say f of x equals the cubed root of x, which is also x to the 1/3 power. That'll be easier when we have to take our derivative to satisfy the derivative requirements up here. So let's go ahead and try to plug in our values. So we have our x is 125 minus 0.9, and again, see that 125 minus 0.9 is going to be equal to this 124.1, the value that you actually really want. And so we're going to say that's about equal to, from this equation up here, and I'm sure you've learned about it in class. I don't know if you go through the derivation of the formula, but it's definitely something that you want to remember and memorize. So we have, it's about equal to f, which is the cubed root of x. X is going to be, okay, so f of x, where x is 125, plus f prime, which, let's do f prime here, f prime of x, where x equals, or where f equals the cubed root of x, is going to just be 1/3 x to the negative 2/3. Just some power rule there for that derivative. And so we have plus, and so we're going to have f prime of 125 times our delta x, which delta x we said is negative 0.9. And so let's go through and solve. So we have this quantity here, f of 124.1, is about equal to, we know f of 125, it's just the cube root of 125. So we have 5, plus here we want to plug in 125 into this equation. So we're going to have plus 1/3 125 to the negative 2/3. And then we're going to have that times negative 0.1, or negative 0.9, my bad. And so if we take a look at this, using our properties of exponents, we can see that this negative 2/3 power is going to take the cubed root of 125, square that using this 2, and then take the reciprocal of that. So we're going to have about equal to 5 plus 1/3 times the cube root of 125, which is, let's just write it here, cube root of 125 to the negative 2 power, and then times negative 0.9. So we have 5 plus, again, the cube root of 125 is 5. So we have 1/3 5 to the negative 2 times negative 0.9. Simplifying this even more, 5 squared is 25. To the negative 1 power is going to be 1 over 25. So we have that f of 124.1 is about equal to 5 plus 1/3 times 1 over 25 times negative 0.9. Now I'd caution you with reducing this, because I was trying to do it earlier and it does sometimes lead to some problems. So depending on what your teacher asks for, definitely see what they would want you to do, whether they want you to reduce this or not. But let's try here. So we have 5 plus this negative 0.9 is going to be negative 9 over 10. So we have 3 times 25, so we have 1 over 75 times negative 9 over 10. Oh, 75. So we have about equal to 5 plus, it looks like, negative 9 over 750. And so let's double check and just make sure that it all works out. So actually the cube root of 124.1 is going to equal, let me get out my calculator here. So we have cubed root 124.1 is 4.987, I guess 988 continuing. And then let's take our value here. So we have 5 plus negative 9 over 750. And so here for our 5 plus negative 9 over 750, we get equals 4.988. So we see that they're very similar numbers. And so yeah, we see that we have, to a certain extent, approximated the value of the cube root of 124.1. Again, definitely look back at your notes because a lot of instructors use different notation and things like that. They want to see different things on the exam, but definitely use this as a way to kind of go through and look and see that you're doing the right procedure. So yeah, thanks for watching.